So yeah, I'm a GIS professional. I live in Washington, D.C. I'm going to take the extra seconds to give myself more time. So I've worked across the country in Canada. Born and raised in Nova Scotia, did my grad school in the University of Victoria, studied everything from grizzly bears to airports, and somehow I ended up at the World Bank. Still don't quite know how. We just studied people there. I'd never studied people before. So people ask, what does a geographer do at the World Bank? I think we've all seen this, translating geospatial information into tables, because economists like tables, they don't understand maps. I think the best example of the kind of data that we transform into tables is nighttime lights. Raise your hand if you've heard of nighttime lights data. It looks awesome. And if an economist sees it, they say, hey, that's where people live, right? And it has an unprecedented scale for economists. Right? Economists don't know how to deal with that resolution, both temporally and spatially, over time. So I'm going to talk a little bit about data at the World Bank. The bank is awesome at macro level data. If you need to know how Afghanistan's GDP has trended over the last 40 years, the place you go to is the World Bank. Interestingly, we also really excel at micro data. The World Bank is a leader in household surveys. We support countries to run household surveys. We run our own household surveys, right? So macro we got, household we got. We kind of aren't great at what I'm going to call the meso scale, right? If you think of subnational data that is not published by governments, we don't have great data on that. And that's where a lot of development is going, right? A country is not a homogeneous place, right? So what I'm here to present today is our Space2Stats project, which is attempting to answer that question. So Space2Stats is a program where we're going to publish a global database of geospatial aggregates at the administrative 2 level, right? We really need to publish at admin levels because that's where the government data comes from. If I publish it at a 1 kilometer grid, then that's not going to jibe with other data. But I don't want to publish at admin levels. I want to be a little bit more interesting. So our goal is to identify the geospatial data we're interested in, attach it to a global database of hexagons, and then attach those hexagons to administrative boundaries. Make sense? So why hexagons? They're really cool. Right? Any geographer who's looked at them says that they have a couple of foundational geospatial advantages. Equal number of nearest neighbors, distance to nearest neighbors, equal area over the globe. There's lots of reasons to work with hexagons. Squares kind of suck. Another reason, maybe the reason that I'm still working with hexagons is that other people are working with hexagons. Look up WorldX. It's a project done by a colleague of ours at the bank, and it's metadata attached to hexagons. But then you might ask, why not directly attach the data to administrative boundaries? They change. They're of different quality. Even if we attach them to the updated metadata, the updated administrative boundaries, if an economist wants to go back in time, they have old boundaries. So Space2Stats works by submitting spatial queries to our API developed with our colleagues at Development Seed, and you get back, again, what economists want, tables, right? So that's the basic idea of what we're trying to do with Space2Stats. We have an API, the link will be bigger at the end, you don't have to take a picture of this, as well as a small Python wrapper around it. We're looking to develop wrappers in R, as well as in Stata. Again, another thing that only economists use. We are trying to be forward-thinking. We have a stat catalog for exploring all of our data, and we're constantly looking for new data sources to add to this. So if you've got interesting data, just come talk to me about interesting data. Some examples of the kind of work we're trying to do with this. We've got an example here showing if I just want to summarize population density at this random square area at the border of South Sudan and Uganda. There's no real reason to do that, but you can see population density here from WorldPop. But because we have all kinds of data aggregated to those same hexagons, we can also get this custom population pyramid, right? You've all seen these kind of before. It's an important demographic tool. So this is the kind of information we're looking that economists will get really interested in. Future. So the first thing is we are going to publish a database of administrative 2-level summaries. If you're in the World Bank system, that's not as interesting to people in this room. What we need to do is be more focused on cloud-native geospatial. So the next 2 slides are going to be my requests to you, right? Currently, our system works by reading data from a Postgres database. I would love it if we could read directly from GeoParquet and Parquet from S3. Part of it is that our current processing scheme is to generate data on Parquet on S3 and then ingest it into PostgreSQL, right? The second has to do with metadata, right? I need my metadata to be consumable by AI because the bank is really investing a lot in AI. We see this as a leapfrog opportunity for our client countries, right? So what is the metadata I can put into Stack to make that possible? Okay, there's the address. I'm going to highlight my colleague Andres is there in the blue shirt. He's in the back. Feel free to talk to him about the technical stuff because he's far surpassed me in how this works now. And that's my other colleague Gabe, who unfortunately couldn't be here. So thanks a lot. If you have any questions, reach out. I appreciate it.